It's good against. It's really good against Hammer Time, but it's not very good against Tron. It's not very good against Esper Reanimator or Elementals. Yeah, we'll stew a bit on the Rallier. Yeah, we don't have enough red cards for Fury. Like, it would be nice to have one as a tutor target, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 red cards in the deck. So just, like, only hard casting it, or almost always hard casting it, makes me not that excited. Sparring Vantage, no Luris. Suspends Riftbolt. Ah, burn, not life total control. Will that joke ever get old? Yes. Yes, it will. I guess I'll just Charming Prince gain 3. We can Eladamri's Call for Glasspool Mimic next turn if we need to hit our land drop. I kill the Charming Prince, which I'm okay with. I don't have any flicker effects in my hand, at least. Alright, I guess we just yeah, we just Deputy this. It's really bad if they have Searing Blaze, though. My only argument for Flicker Wisp is the main deck allows you interaction versus multiple decks game 1. Well, you have other interactive spells, right? Allows you to loop Yorion. It's obviously a flicker effect. You also I mean, it's not like that's your only interaction. You have Solitude, Deputy, Venser, Skyclave, which I feel like all of those are better than Flicker Wisp. And also the double white on Flicker Wisp is a really big cost. I think I'm just going to cast Ragavan and then Eladamri's Call for Omnath. Yeah, I used to play Acidic Slime in this deck a long time ago. It used to be fine. Is this a Kurisu list? No, I put this list together. I'm sure there are other Kiki-Jiki pilots, but I've also played a lot of Kiki-Jiki. I didn't look at any other lists when I put this together. They bolt the monkey. Thoughts on a Zealous Conscript instead of Felidar Guardian. Felidar Guardian has another infinite combo with Glasspool Mimic or Resto and Soul Herder or Auriok Champion that Zealous Conscripts wouldn't have. You know, 5 mana is also a lot more than 4. Guardian also like can just flicker any creature for value in the deck. So what's the Rider part of the Soul Rider deck? Does it still say? It doesn't say Soul Rider in the title, right? It's just, yeah. I don't know where you're seeing a Soul Rider. I don't think it's in the Stream Decker either. It might be, but I used to play a lot of this deck, and like kind of the lore, the history is I used to play a lot of this deck, and for a while before Ikora, I was playing a 4-color. Just a Soul Herder deck that was playing. Yeah, missing lands feels bad here. That was playing Soul Herder Avalanche Rider, so I called it Soul Rider. And then when Okora came out, I was playing this deck, the Kiki-Jiki version, and I called it 80 card Soul Rider. And I played that deck a lot. I really like that deck. They Helix me. And that's kind of the lore there. Okay. Yeah, I thought I'd change it on the Stream Decker, but I guess not. But I'm not playing Avalanche Rider anymore because we have Charmal. But I was main decking Rider for a while. That's awesome, save in. Very cool. Glad to see people playing the Lotus Field deck. I really like that one. Still no land. So I can Eladamri's Call for Glasspool Mimic, gain 4 life. I can Eladamri's Call for Solitude. I can just go for Glasspool Mimic here. Is that how you say it, Cora? Please never, ever correct my pronunciation. I do not care about these sets. Never correct my pronunciation. Oh, they have Skullcrack. Bummer. Bummer. Dead to any burn spell. Okay, so I'll bring in the Forge Tinder, the Sanctifier, the Knight of Autumn, the Solitude, the Prelate. And then I want to cut Deputy of Detention, Felidar Guardian, Vincer, probably an Ice-Fang, Soul Hoarder. Use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Majesty for Rift. I think that's way too narrow. I mean, the 1/3 body's not that bad against Goblin Guide. I'm just not that into it. If it's in play, too, they just won't suspend Rift Bolts. Absolutely not. Crush just asking. Yeah, I'm just teasing you. It's not that big a deal. I don't really care, though. Okay. Not a great hand. Not a great hand. I think I'll keep this, though. Put back Solitude. Yeah, the good old one of Ragavan. See if they bolt the bird. No, I've never seen Borat, so I'm not really interested in the series. How do you deal with Torpor Orb? Torpor Orb is not a very common card. I do have Outland Liberator, though. But I haven't seen a Torpor Orb in a long time. I'm not really that worried about it. I'm just going to cast the Ragavan. But you also can't beat everything, right? It's like... I do have an out to it. I do have the Liberator, but... Torpor Orb is not that popular. And... You know, when you play a deck like this, though, you're really cold to Torpor Orb. It just is what it is. You can't just be obsessed with beating everything. All right, let's pass back. Maybe it was best to go Yorion in hand, Solitude, and then next turn Eladamri's Call for Omnath. But I want to try to Eladamri's Call for Omnath. I feel like you could jam 4 Prismatic Endings somewhere, maybe over Charming Priest, Vincer, some Dorks. I don't think this is a good Prismatic Ending deck. Like your whole deck needs to really work together, and it's like if the idea is the idea that Prismatic Ending is a way to deal with Torpor Orb, because I'm really just not that worried about it. See if they have a Skullcrack. No Skullcrack. Let's go. Let's go. Also against General Planeswalker's Permanence Blood Moon. Yeah, yeah, this deck is honestly like tight on slots as it is, in my opinion. I really don't think you could just jam 4 Prismatic Endings in it. I see everyone uses because the Elementals will play with 4 color. Use Solid to resolve. Yeah, I mean I'm playing Liberator. We have an out, but you know, when you play this deck, when you play creature ETB.deck, you're gonna be soft to Torpor Orb. I'm not really playing. I mean, I have a paper collection. I just haven't been playing in paper lately. But I do have a collection. I'm gonna attack with my Omnath. If they double block, I'll Solitude the Eidolon. And then if they want to use a burn spell to kill the Omnath, then we just get, you know, more and more 2-for-1s here. We have a 3/2 lifelinker in play, have a lot of gas in the tank. Do you have any stories about playing any Magic Pros I can share? I mean, I've played against a lot of Magic Pros, but I don't know if I have any, like, particularly interesting ones. feel like that ended up being a really good exchange. We're at 20 life. Had the Solitude in play. They're just so behind. Yeah, 80 Toski, my entire paper collection. I think I have like 5 Toskis. One of them's up here. I've got a Toski right here. And 3 cards left. We're at 17 life. Eladamri's Call for Charming Prince, probably. Just demoralize them. Try to inflict as much psychic damage as possible. Which will carry over into game 3. Yeah, this deck used to play Astrolabe back in the day, of course. I can maybe play a Toski in the sideboard. Toski over like the second Charmall. Over the Aven Mindcensor maybe. I feel like our control matchup's pretty good though. We probably don't need it. Let's mulligan this. I guess we keep this. Hope to draw a land. I'm not sure if I'm going to Solitude this. We'll see what we reveal. Thank you, Goblin Guide. Eidolon's a really big problem, though. I think I'm going to take the hit. We have a wall to theoretically block this. Yeah, we are going to be able to block it. Kind of funny to just naturally draw both Triomes here. I think Niv to Light has a decent shell of Modern. I haven't really liked Niv that much lately, but I do see people winning with it a little bit, so it's probably, I think it's somewhat playable for sure. Right, Eladamri's Call on top. I have not seen the trailer for the Game of Thrones prequel. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch it. I guess I should probably Charming Prince here. Yeah, this way I can not get my Charming Prince skull cracked. A nice little 2-for-1 here. And then if they kill my Charming Prince, I'll probably have to Solitude the Goblin Guide. Maybe not. No attacks is a bit weird. So here I can Eladamri's Call for Omnath, or I can just play Wall. The guy from Ephemerate, thank you for 6 months. I can also Eladamri's Call for like Soul Herder, so if they're just not going to attack, then that might be pretty good. Let me get the Wall of Blossoms in play because I've got Chord of Calling. I think that's going to be my deal break or my tiebreaker. And then this also like this really de-incentivizes my opponent from killing my Charming Prince. Because if they kill Charming Prince, they still can't attack, and then that maybe gives me a good chance to like Chord for Soul Herder. Well, that's a sick draw. Yeah, I think I'll just Chord for Soul Herder here. Yeah, the Rider, this deck used to be an Avalanche Rider, like kind of Soul Herder Flicker deck a long time ago. I just didn't change the name from my Magic Online deck lists. And so I can protect the Soul Herder from a burn spell. I guess if they have Skullcrack plus burn spell, it's kind of bad. But I don't have the Rider in the deck at the moment, so I didn't put it in the name. They have Path? Okay, well. Good beats, huh? Good beats. I think I'll just get a Forest. So they can hit me with Goblin Guide now. I'm feeling pretty good. We've got the Charming Prince still in play. We've got Forge Tinder. Solitude's nice insurance. We can Chord for Omnath next turn. Or a call for Omnath. Top card is Noble Hierarch. Down to 12. And my opponent's also very flooded. Let's not discount that, huh? I don't have another Soul Herder. I cited one out. Let me just Abundant Growth. Abundant Growth. Hierarch, attack for 3. Then Eladamri's Call. Brittany's free. Yeah, I saw that. Is there a reason you're not playing Wall of Roots in the shells? Because you're competing with the other walls. Yeah, the other walls are better in a deck full of flicker effects. You need to be able to flicker your cards for value. Would I recommend replacing the sideboard Little Teferi's with Jeskai Murktide? I was considering Chalice to fight the Cascade decks. That also might be out of your budget. I think Chalice is more expensive than Teferi. But Chalice would probably be what you would have to play in that spot. So I guess I get Skyclave? Because Omnath's not getting me any life while this Rolling Vortex is in play. Oh, yeah, if you own the Chalices, that's a good replacement. For sure. Okay, another Vortex. Kind of makes things weird. So I guess we're still not getting Omnath. I suppose I'm going to grab a Restoration Angel to flicker the Skyclave. It's always so fun to play these decks and just have access to a million different things. Have I considered Golos? I have not. Good question, though. Do you have an opinion on Niv to Light being 60 versus 80? I mean, I feel like it should probably be 60. Because, like, you know, you're really good in the grindy matchups. That's like kind of the big selling point to playing Niv in general, right? Is how strong you are in those matchups. But you struggle against like more linear decks, and like you really need to like have or get percentage points in those matchups, in my opinion, by playing a lot of impactful sideboard cards and playing the 80 card version. Dude, so many lands for my opponent. Playing the 80 card version of Niv like really does make it where you lose percentage points against decks like Tron, against combo decks, against Cascade decks, because you're not as easily able to find your sideboard cards. And but in like the 80 card version feels good because you just get to be the grindiest deck ever. You get to outgrind all your friends who also play their mid-range decks. We've been in the Modern Replenish deck. I'm gonna keep it in my mind, but I don't know if I'm gonna return to it. We'll see. So I kind of feel like they've got a Skull Crack. What's nice is that we can Solitude our own creature to gain some life at instant speed. But it's also going to be really hard for my opponent to burn me out. Maybe they just don't have the Skull Crack. I mean, they've got one card in their hand. I'm just going to cast the Knight of Autumn here. Then put Yorion in my hand, I think. Long match, but we're 1-0 in this league. It's probably keepable. What matchups am I hoping to avoid with this deck? I feel like this deck's got a pretty good chance against the metagame as a whole. Maybe Murktide's the matchup I probably want to see the least. But I've got like a lot of Solitudes and Ice-Fangs. Just like being able to draw. I feel like that might be tough. Summon the Murktide opponent. Summoned the Murktide opponent. Summoned the turn 1 Ragavan on the play. Yeah, I'll stream this weekend. I'll probably play the challenge. I'm not sure what I want to play though. Maybe the Just Get Murktide deck, maybe the Team Erect deck. I think this deck holds up well versus Tron. Yeah, I would think so. You have like maybe game one's kind of tough, but like Vincer, the idea in game one against Tron is you tier up your Vincer and you flicker it a lot, and then the Charmals really help as well. The Charmals are insane against them, and you have a lot of ways to tutor the Charmals. So I feel like I'm not that worried about it. It's, you know, I'm sure it's not the best matchup, and I obviously like it's very losable, but definitely winnable. Ice-Fang seems good against DRC Monkey. Yeah. Just way better on the play. I'm going to main phase this to play around Counterspell. I think I'll get Snow-Covered Forest. I know that Temple Garden's maybe a bit better, but our life total's, you know, not looking too hot, and the Snow-Covered helps the Ice-Fang a little bit. You should shout out how many Croaks do you think you should play? As at least minimum 2, probably. Minimum 2. I guess this does let my opponent use their mana to bolt the Ice-Fang now if they have it, but they don't seem to have it. It's pretty good. Or if they have it, they just want to scour instead. And down to 15. Opponent keeps hitting pretty well off the monkey. I guess the walls are pretty good against Ragavan too. We just have Ice-Fang instead of wall this game. My opponent's the one with the walls. Okay, that's not a bad draw. So I guess if my opponent goes to kill my Ice-Fang, I'm happy with that happening, so I can go Solitude, Ephemerate, Solitude. So I'm trying to bait them into using their burn spell on the Ice-Fang right here. Yeah, the opponent punished for not playing Snow Basics. It's kind of funny. Do we not have a way to fetch white in? We have Wooded Foothills. What's the punt? No, I want my opponent to kill the Ice-Fang there. I'm not gonna Ephemerate the Ice-Fang. Yeah. Unpunt right now. Can we Prince to get back wall? Oh, that's a pretty good line. Is that line better than this? I forgot about that. Maybe. Yeah, that was maybe better. Just a Prince plus Bird. Yeah, I like that line more. So they're gonna Murktide here. If they had a burn spell though, they should have already used it. They should use it first so their Murktide gets bigger. I have an Ephemerate on the rebound. I guess they have it off. I guess they have a burn spell off the Misty though. There's no way they just run into this, right? I'm obviously hoping they do. I feel like they should have just main phase killed this. This would be a 7/7. Sometimes it's just a bit too free for the bean, chat. Sometimes it's just a bit too free for the bean. Yeah, they just messed up. Hey Shane, how you doing? Bolt the Solitude. It's fine. It's got a lot of options for next turn. I'll probably just do more of a setup turn, depending on what we draw. Never mind. Okay, I still don't know what I'm doing. We just literally have everything available to us right now. I guess I kind of want to get Eternal Witness. So maybe I could go land, fetch land, Recruiter for Eternal Witness, get back Ephemerate, cast Ephemerate. and play Bird. Is this deck better than 60 card elementals? Maybe, maybe not. Hope that was helpful. I don't know. It's a good question. It's like the question you need to ask. Where's my witness? Is it in there? There it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna get back Ephemerate, Eternal Witness, get back Solitude, cast Bird. I love this deck. This deck's so fun to play. We're bringing Solitude number 4. Sanctum Prelate's probably fine. Sanctifier's fine. Fortuner's fine. Yeah, I should probably play the Prelate. It does turn off my Ephemerates, but that's not that big a deal, I guess. And then I probably don't want Skyclave. I probably don't want Venser. I'm actually going to board out the Kiki combo. Keep Resto. It's good against DRC. Preparing for Modern Tournament, do you feel it's important to play with a variety of decks or focus reps with one deck? Well, I mean, my preparation for Modern Tournaments is a bit different because, you know, this is my full-time job. But in general, I would say that, like, I think identifying a deck you think is good and then getting a lot of reps in is more important. Skyclave seems good against DRC and Ragavan. I don't actually think it is. It's like, I don't think it's that good of an answer. It's kind of slow and is like pretty you know, slow and boltable. And we have also like we have just like a million other answers to DRC Ragavan, right? We've got the walls and the Ice-Fang and the pro white creatures and endurance. It's like Skyclave seems like our worst answer. It is fine against them, but it's our worst answer against those cards. And it doesn't hit Murktide, which is really the scary card of the matchup. Any thoughts on modern D&T? Not really. I've never really been a big fan of that deck. At least I don't have any thoughts, you know. I think I'm gonna get Fountain here. Then get Forest off the Prismatic. Would you place the one Ragavan if you didn't have one? Giver of Runes. It's just important to have like one good 1-mana card to Chord of Calling for. That way your chords can, you know, be impactful. When otherwise they really wouldn't be. Oh, they missed their land drop. Well, obviously bodes well for us. Gonna play a wall. And attack? Nah, it's really bad if they can heat the wall. I guess I could Forge Tinder. I mean, the 1 point of damage just doesn't matter that much. Oh no! Torpor Orb! Oh, they conceded. Oh my gosh. Okay, we didn't have to play against the Torpor Orb. Oh my gosh. I totally missed it. I thought that was a bauble. But yeah, Orb is the best card against us. So I guess I'm gonna go Jeskai, Triome, Basic Forest. You always want to play, if you have Wall of Blossoms and Wall of Omens, you always want to play Blossoms first. Because Blossoms can be tapped for Chord, and then you can pitch Wall of Omens to Solitude. Oh, I guess you can pitch Wall of Blossoms to Endurance. I'm hoping that with this hand, I'm hoping we're playing against Murktide and not like Rhinos are living in. Although like those matchups are fine, I think. There's like a droning going on. It's like, can you guys hear that? Is that getting picked up on the mic? I think it's construction. I'm not sure. So now if they, I guess they're not Rhinos, but we could if it was Chord for Deputy. Is Prismatic Ending badly positioned? I haven't seen you play a white deck without it for a while. Prismatic Ending is not good in this deck, but no, Prismatic Ending is still a very good card. It's just not right for this deck in my opinion. I guess I should probably just pass with the Chord up. Can we put Yorion in my hand too? Let's do that. Let's do that. It's quiet. Okay, cool. Would Twin ruin Modern? No, but it probably wouldn't make it better. Yeah, I was playing Portable Hole over Prismatic in the Urza Blade deck too. So I guess I'm gonna just Chord for Endurance here. I'm gonna get a Plains to try to play around Blood Moon, because I think this is probably Blue Moon. Could you go for Felidar, hold up Chord, I win combo? Not in this spot. Like, playing around nothing against my Blue Moon opponent, or likely to be Blue Moon opponent, just doesn't make any sense. Their deck is just full of good interaction, you know? Oh, okay, it's full of interaction. Alright, so now we've got basics for Blood Moon. I think I'm going to lead on my worst foot forward. Yeah, I'm just teasing. Yeah, Blood Moon's a good deck. I was thinking about playing it today, actually. Blue Moon. Fact or fiction? Let's go Typhoon Canal versus these. The DJ, thank you for Touch Prime. Yeah, looks like they are playing Jacob's List. Oh, they're not. I mean, Jacob's playing a lot of different lists, but I think the last version I saw wasn't playing the Murktide. So I'm gonna bait with the Soul Herder. They could definitely have 2 counter spells here, but whatever. All right, I got my trigger. I don't know. I mean, maybe I should have played at something, but I feel like, oh no! Damn it! It's obviously not that big a deal, but no, it is a pretty big deal to miss the draw there. I just misclicked on the yes no here. And oops. But we really needed that card with them having 7 cards in hand. Feels less than great. And then they couldn't Spikefield Hazard my Soul Herder either, because we would get a counter on it. Just time to move on, I guess. Okay, that's not a bad one. It's also nice that we have the second basic planes in our hands, so really, Blood Moon doesn't stop us from casting anything. If they kill the bird, we can't cast Venser. A lot of draw spells. You can flashback Deluge next turn, and that puts a counter on Ice-Fang. Fire my 1 toughness guys. Blue Moon's probably not a good matchup, the more I'm thinking about it. I'd rather play against blue-white control. Another land is also a bummer. I have to play Yori on this turn, otherwise I just let them flashback the Deluge. I guess there's, you know, a chance this resolves, but a very, very small one. Cryptic? So many 4-drops. Could be just dead right now if they have 2 bolts. So snap, Spikefield Hazard, plus bolt. Okay, we haven't been bolted yet. Hopefully no slow roll. Can Endurance block the Murktide this turn? So I guess we have to do. Should probably just concede, to be honest. Going to game 2. So Sanctifier is unboltable. They can block with Snapcaster though. Does Shriek Murktide. Doesn't seem that good to me. I'm gonna cut the Auriok Champion, I think. Gonna cut the Deputy of Detention. I guess Deputy is not that bad against Murktide. I do want the Forge Tinder. Do I want the Knight of Autumn? Do I want Prelate? I guess Prelate's not that bad. They have a lot of 4-drops. Could also name one. The double white's kind of awkward though. I probably want to trim a wall. I think I want to play 3 Solitudes. I could play Outland Liberator. This might be a better out to Blood Moon than other cards because it's green. Yeah, let's cut another wall and play an Outland Liberator. And then, do I want the Skyclave? I think probably not. So maybe I'll play the 4 Solitude, or maybe I'll just get a wall back in there. Let's get a wall back in there. Not a Magistrate with them having Snap and Deluge. Yeah, I don't think that's enough. Like, Magistrate kind of sucks against anything besides those cards, and Magistrate also dies to bolts if it is relevant, you know? Dies really hard to bolts. Okay, I'm gonna keep this, of course. Put back Charming Prince, I think. And then get a Jeskai Triumph on one. Although Jeskai Triumph doesn't let me... I would get Bant Triumph here if I had one. This is where I'd put my Bant Triumph if I had one. If Amulet somehow comes back to tier 0, people start jamming Ashioks in their sideboard. I mean, yeah, people will play sideboard cards for Amulet if Amulet's tier 1. Of course. Not that hard to predict. Ice my green source, brutal. Probably should have played the island. Fran yesterday 5-0'd with Amulet and posted that the deck was broken, so I don't know. Don't know what's going on. Maybe the deck was always very good, huh? I kind of want to endurance this turn to play around Murktide. Do you think we'll see the Cycle Triumph complete in 2022? Probably, yeah. I think that the people are predicting that the demon set will have it. Oh, I guess I didn't need to upkeep. Yeah. I know that you were joking, but it's also like, I feel like that post did kind of exemplify. I mean, like Amulet is like, if you're Fran, you're gonna have like a positive win record with Amulet. You're probably, you know, it's maybe not the best choice for a tournament, but the deck is like still playable. But I did know that you were shitposting. Probably put Yorion in my hand here, which de-incentivizes them for tapping out. Can also prelate. Can't double Hierarch. I think I'm gonna Yorion in my hand. Okay, here comes the Murktide. Ice-Fang does trade with it. That's an interesting one. So I'm gonna go prelate. Result. Hierarch. How is he casting Hierarch with prelate in play? I have no idea. Blue, white, X, or Grixis Shadow for this current meta. Probably blue, white, X. It's you know, blue, white's one of the best decks. Wait, do I not? Oh, I only have Chord for 3 up. Sorry, I thought I had Chord for 4. So I can Glasspool Mimic the Sanctum Prelate. I can Charming Prince the Sanctum Prelate, but I feel like I'd rather Glasspool Mimic. Just never get to the window, play a 1-mana spell. I could also just get Eternal Witness, get back Chord. I think I like the Glasspool Mimic line. Because I feel like if the Sanctum Prelate wasn't a problem, they would have gone. They would have killed Ice-Fang Hierarch with that fire. I was hoping to draw any spell this turn. I think I have to Yorion. Don't really think it's going to resolve, though. Could hold that for Omnath. Double Charm. Four cards in hand, probably dead. Yeah, maybe I made the wrong play with the Mimic line. I feel like it was fine. It just wasn't very good if we drew lands. Assuming it's a legacy card. Tain's not that good. I think I'll send it back. Added a land. Good. Keep this. I'll put back Skyclave. Fire card. Oh, I have seen that card. Yeah. As an initial cost, pay X life, deals X damage among any number of creatures. That card's pretty cool. I could see it in Modern, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, but I have seen the card. I've played against the Changeling Magna deck. Apparently that deck's like putting up results a little bit. It's a really cool brew. So it could be playing against Rhinos, could be playing against that 4-color deck we were just talking about. Hey, she's with Wall of Omens, Wall of Blossoms. I mean, it doesn't matter that much, but Wall of Blossoms taps for Chord, Wall of Omens pitches to Solitude. I have a 3-2 split at the moment. It's really, you know, not that big a deal. Okay, so I kind of feel like we're getting Charlotte's Agented. Hopefully we can Chord of Calling for Deputy of Detention this game. Oh yeah, no Yorion, of course. Probably gonna take 8. Would love for them to just like Violent Outburst. Hey, Sergeant Snuggles. Yeah, I'd love for them to just cast Violent Outburst here. Or another Shardless Agent. What is this? Bone Crusher? Prismari Command. It's pretty bad, to be honest. Because now I can't Chord for 3 next turn. I can just play Omnath. I can play Omnath, and then I can Solitude a Rhino, Chump a Rhino if I really want to. I guess I'll probably take 4, because I don't want to block Omnath on Charlotte's Agent and allow my opponent to deal 2 damage to Omnath. Let me see what I draw. A Hierarch. Not very helpful. Flash and Solitude, Sax trigger on the stack, has Chord. Yeah, but then I don't get like good value out of the Solitude. It's good. It's a good like suggestion, but I don't think it's the line. I think this is better. Another Chord. Should probably Solitude now. Yeah, we should be able to take 4 here. We could die if they have 2 damage burn spells. Fury's really bad for us too. Seems like they have Fury. That was the line. Solitude, Chord for Prince, Blink Solitude. Yeah, that was probably the line. I don't have double white. Can chord for 3. So I'll chord for Deputy. Chump Fury. Go to 2, did any burn spell, did the Fury, did the Petty Theft, did the Fire Ice. I guess that's a burn spell. Dead to dead gone. It's funny. Oh no, I could have pitched Solitude. Ugh, whatever. Sorry, chat. I was just thinking, of course, I didn't have a card to pitch for Solitude, and then of the cards on my radar, that wasn't really on my mind. I don't think I brought in Forge Tinder last time. I think I should bring in the Forge Tinder. Yeah, as soon as I conceded, I'm like, oh no. I want to cut the Skyclave, the Endurance. I think I've been trimming on walls and stuff, but I might actually just want to cut the Kiki combo. I think that's a bit better. Yeah, Convoking with Evoke on the stack was sick. Yeah, the Solitude Convoke Charming Prince was a pretty good line there. I do think this matchup's decent. We played it earlier, felt okay. We did lose to Doom. We're 1-1 against it so far, but Doomwake, I feel like, you know, did definitely spike some really impactful cards at the right moment. I don't love this hand. I also don't hate it. I think I'll keep. We do have 3 green lands. We can go Temple Garden, into Fountain, into Basic Forest, and Stomping Ground to be able to chord for 3 and get Deputy or something else. And then Forge Tinder is, I think, pretty nice to be able to protect our creatures from all their burn spells. The Auriok Champion is probably going to gain a really nice amount of life, especially with this painful hand. We also maybe could have gotten a Triome in one. I think we still want the Temple Garden. That's a very good draw. Agree. Yeah, any like green creature that cantrips is really good that turn. Chord for Dranith. Yeah. Either Dranith or Deputy, depending on like on what the turn looks like. But we could like it depends like if they go, because next turn we can't chord for Dranith. But if we go, if they main phase the Shardless Agent, then we just chord for Deputy. But if they wait to like Violent Outburst on our turn, then we can chord for Magistrate in response to the Cascade. So I think I'm gonna respond to the fetch with the Ice-Fang, although I'm not really playing around anything in particular, to be honest. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have done that. They might have cut Force. Yeah, maybe. Force is probably good to cut. It hits 8 cards, but it's only the tutors, and because they're all instant speed, it's like a bit awkward. Yeah, I should just let them kill the Ice-Wing for no reason. Not the end of the world. Yeah, Blood Moon definitely eats our lunch here. We got Blood Mooned earlier by Doom. This is kind of a telegraph. They don't see the line though. I mean, I guess they could have Force. I feel like it's not that reasonable for them to still have Force in their deck. They don't have it. Awesome. Dranith Magistrate. Let's go. We do miss out on that 2 life from the Rhinos entering though. Yeah, I agree this deck's really hard to play. I used to be like in really good practice with it, but I'm not really anymore. I think I'm starting to get there again, though. Probably play Rakdos midrange or Grixis Death Shadow. I feel like I'd probably play Rakdos since it's a bit better against the. Hold on, do I want to Fortune Tinder this? think so. Wait, how does this work though? I choose this. I choose this. Oh yeah, they also can't Bone Crusher. Yeah, they're trying to Bone Crusher. That's so funny, but I totally forgot that Magistrate hoses that. Yeah, that's definitely another huge upgrade for this deck. It's pretty cool. So we can Chord for 4? Probably do it in their upkeep. Ito, 5 months. Thank you so much. Glad you're liking the stream. Yeah, I still think I like Jeskai Murktide a lot. I haven't like played it in the last couple days, but I don't really have any reason to think it's not still a really good choice. I've been really impressed by it the streams I have played it. Oh, I cited out the resto. That's right. So what do we get here? I can just get Omnath. Could get Vincer, bounce the Petty Theft. Why not Ephemerate drain at the Fist of the Borrower? I thought I had Resto still in the deck, but I forgot I cited it out. I'm just gonna get the Omnath. Melee Mage. I don't think I just don't care about the Rhinos that much here. And I want a creature that draws a card in play for my flicker effects. Major Foe. Yeah, I'm just not that worried about it. I really just don't think these two Rhinos do that much. I could be wrong. Oh, does anybody know if they fixed the abundant growth? I think I'm gonna save the fetch line for next turn. Does anybody know if they fixed the abundant growth Blood Moon bug? So it is relevant here. That's not Athena barking. Athena doesn't bark, really. That's the dog outside. Athena barks very rarely, and it's usually when she's playing. Is there a desired balance to bullets threats? Balance to bullets. I mean, there's not like a golden. I think I understand what you're asking. There's not a golden ratio of, you know, flicker creatures, mana dorks, bullets. It mostly just like a lot of it is just going to come with like your testing and tuning and experience in the format to understand like what creatures you want. What does the Blood Moon Abundant Growth bug do? So it's my understanding that Abundant Growth is supposed to allow your land to tap for any color of mana no matter when Blood Moon was cast. But Abundant Growth like was coded, so instead of so that in a way that Blood Moon made that not the case. And I know that it was bugged for a really long time, and I don't know that if it is or not, but still bugged. Or just yeah. Isn't Athena husky? Yeah, Athena is a husky, but yeah, she's very, very quiet. I mean, I think that is kind of usual of huskies, right? For them to either be very, very talkative or very, very quiet. But I mean, Athena does talk. She goes like sometimes when she's trying to like tell you something, but she doesn't actually bark. She just like mimics human noises, and it's very cute. You will live, Noble Hierarch. You're going to live. All right, probably too important to not hold up Eladamri's call here. I think Blood Moon should remove all abilities from the land, even if both abilities are granted from Abundant Growth. I might just not understand the rules, but that's just my impression. Is Athena named after my favorite video game? Is there a video game called Athena? I didn't name Athena. Athena was rehomed to me after a friend of mine had a baby, and Athena was just like way too hyper and playful around the baby. Athena was also a puppy at the time. I think I'm just gonna play this tapped. Do you think Jeskai is better than Grixis Shadow? I like Jeskai, yeah. I like Jeskai a lot. Okay, punish for not holding up the Ephemerate. Still not in that bad of shape if we draw lands. Or if they don't cascade here. What did they pitch? They pitched Prismari Command. They do have a Suspended Footfalls, which I could maybe Venser if I draw the lands. Garaka, thank you for your tier 1. I just think they didn't have that many outs to 3 toughness here. Immediately cast this. Oh, man. Yeah, so if we draw a land for Venser, we are doing okay. We did draw the land for Venser. Do I want to bounce the spell, or do I want to bounce a Rhino? I'm just going to bounce a Rhino. So I take less damage this way. And then next turn I get to go Soul Herder Ephemerate. And hopefully in their last 2 cards they don't have an answer to my creatures. Mason, 18 months, thank you so much. If we draw a fetch land, we can go Omnath fetch land, Soul Herder Ephemerate. Oh wait, so I thought this was coming down this turn. Okay. Yeah, it not coming down this turn obviously makes this line the right one. Okay, didn't draw the land. I'm not gonna risk it either. Just gonna play my Herder. Guess we attack. Okay, so they don't seem to have a removal spell in their hand, right? They would have used it. So what can their hand be? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it can be anything that gets us here. They would have used it, so I'm just gonna Ephemerate here. I want to do this in the upkeep, I think. That way I get value off of both rebound, both Ephemerate and the rebound. Fury? Well, Fury doesn't at least doesn't stop me from Ephemerating here, right? But yeah, Fury could be the card in their hand. I think it's a decent read. How do they make this line? Doesn't make any sense really, right? Not the end of the world. I just don't know how they don't petty theft the Soul Herder last turn. Isn't it better than Venser the spell? Well, I was assuming that they didn't have any interaction. I think it's better to bounce both Rhino tokens. But it seemed like you're right. That way the rebound Ephemerate gets to bounce the Rhino token, we get to use it. They do get to Brazen Borrower here, so I don't think we die to anything this turn. But like a series of top decks could get them out of this. Oh, I guess if we just don't draw a land for Omnath, we can't gain any life. I'm trying to think. Their draw was a Shardless Agent was very good. Okay. Jeez. And our Deputy's already in the graveyard. We drew Ephemerate. Why is that such a headache of a draw? Okay, definitely a big headache. Let's look at the list. Can I Chord for Solitude here? I can Chord for Solitude, though I don't have enough green. Wall, Ragavan, Ephemerate. Does that save us? Don't we just die to the Borrower? I think if we could find a line that saves us here, we need to take that line. Need to blossom into green source. Yeah, it's a Chord. Yeah, we can't Chord for color. We can Chord for Coatl if we play the wall. Yeah. We can Chord for Coatl if we could play the wall. So if we play wall, play Ragavan, flicker this, bounce this, Ephemerate Vincer, bounce here. Then this is big enough to block a Rhino, but then they petty theft the Soul Herder. Then we have to block wall on a Rhino, and then we have to block Ragavan on an agent and Vincer on an agent. It's really not that good for us. But if we draw a land off Wall of Blossoms, it's way better. Oh yeah, we also need the green to cast the wall, so it doesn't add any green. Can't bounce Borrower. I mean, I have to bounce. I can't. Why can't I bounce Borrower? I can bounce Borrower. I bounce a Rhino and I bounce a Borrower, and then my wall chumps a Rhino. Vincer blocks an agent, and then the Ragavan blocks the agent, but it's not that good. The thing about Omnath, though, is I feel like I have to draw a fetch land or a white source, which isn't that good. If I draw a land off wall, aren't I better playing Omnath? I'm not sure. Maybe. This is like the hardest line I've had to make in a long time. Yeah, if I draw green, I do have Chord up. That's true. Cast wall, work from there. I think it might be better to cast the Omnath. Let me cast the wall. I could also, there's casting the wall also like lets me draw another Ephemerate, you know. Yeah, so maybe I should tap like this to try to draw another Ephemerate, and just because if I draw a green land, one, two, I can Chord for 1, 2, 3, 4. Chord for 2. Yeah, I guess a green land lets me Chord for Ice-Fang. I mean, I would have rather played Omnath with that being the top card, but this should work. Oh no! If we hold on, no, we chord for Ice-Fang, but if they attack with these Charlotte's agents, we just die, right? Oh, I can chord for Charming Prince though. I could chord for Charming Prince. I didn't cite it out, right? Yeah, I can chord for Charming Prince to gain life or bounce this. What a headache. Oh, I can't chord. What am I saying? Why do I think I can chord here? Yeah. I don't know why I thought I could chord. I could have chorded if I didn't tap the land for Ragavan, but I needed to. Yeah. Sorry. Such a freaking difficult turn. It's not game over, I think. No, it is. Sorry, I needed to. Yeah, it's game over. Bummer. 2-0 into 2-2 again. Yeah, we need to play the Omnath. Yeah, I think Omnath was the line. Obviously, now. It's definitely a hard game. Flagstone's Aether Vial. Don't usually just like to play out Charming Prince to scry. We'll see what we draw. Yeah, I think I'll just play wall here. Maybe I should have played around Arbiter. If they're playing Flagstones, can they be playing Arbiter? It was also just so weird that they didn't petty theft Soul Herder. The turn we got to flicker the Vincer. Like, I don't know how you played that hard around Ephemerate there. Obviously, we lost to it. Just didn't make that much sense to me. A little bit scared of that Tectonic Edge. A lot of DT players are cutting Arbiter for farmhand. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking up farmhands. I don't really think this card's great. It's, like, somewhat playable, probably. Okay. Brutal Catharsis seems pretty good. At least against us. At least against us. Yeah, I think I'll just Charming Prince my wall, then Eladamri's Call here. Yeah, the opponent's playing just mono white taxes, you know, white weenie. Gonna call for Omnath at the opponent's turn. We'll see what the board state looks like before we decide what we're gonna call for. Omnath is likely. But I might also want to get Skyclave or Solitude for the Brutal Cathar. But what's nice is that we get to cast the Eladamri's Call, so this doesn't transform into Moonrage Brute. Maybe humans? No, they're just playing taxes. Okay, so now we have to choose. I feel like Solitude's pretty good here. I do have the Charming Prince in play, so I can't chord for Charming Prince in response to the Solitude ETB. I can maybe chord for Resto. Or just hardcast it, of course. Call doesn't stop them transforming into new werewolves? Really? If a player casts at least 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day. If a player casts no spells during their own turn. Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that makes these way better. Am I afraid of Cauldra? I don't think so. Yeah, actually playable. Wow. So, let me think. Can I Solitude and with the Evoke Trigger on the stack chord for Resto? I don't have enough green. So let's just get a Forest then. Hard cast the Solitude. Exile Brutal Cathar. And then Deputy of Detention. Not really that worried about this Cauldra. If Cathar flips to the other side, does that count as though it left the battlefield? No, it doesn't. That doesn't flicker the card. Should I attack with Charming Prince? If I attack with Charming Prince and they have Solitude for my Deputy, it's bad. And they are kind of pausing there. So I think I'll play around the Solitude on the Deputy. Read 5 out with John, that's awesome. Down to 10. Are they flipping farmhands? No, they can't because they don't have the... I don't even know what it's called. They have Thalia back though. Oh, we just drew Soul Herder for turn. It's pretty good. I guess I'll just play Sacred Foundry tapped. Oh, I should have shocked so I could have cast the calls. I guess I'm casting Abundant Growth now. And I guess I'm exiling the Germ token, right? IK, thank you for 2 months. Appreciate ya. Do you ever feel like Magic becomes less fun over the years? Since Opal was banned, I've really felt on Isle of Modern. I mean, I've had decks that I love banned too, and it really feels bad, but I personally am having more fun with Magic than I ever have, and of course, like, you know, it's, you know, very, very much largely to do with the stream, but, you know, that's just my frame of reference. I don't know. If you don't enjoy Magic as much anymore, like there are other formats, of course. There's other decks always, but there's also other games. There's other things to do with your life, and like forcing yourself to enjoy something that you're just not enjoying is almost never a good idea. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, just not enjoying the game as much anymore. But I've been really liking it lately. I've been really enjoying the gameplay, and I do think it's likely there's another deck out there that you'll enjoy. They did have the Solitude, or it seems like they had the Solitude. Yeah, there's also Limited for sure. Should have blinked the Prince to blink Solitude for extra counter on Soul Herder. No, if I blink the Prince does not immediately flicker. The Prince will bring the Solitude back on my opponent's instep, and then they get to hit me for 5 with the Cauldron, which seems worse to me for in exchange for an extra counter. Yeah, they don't really have any good attacks at least. I think I'm just gonna main phase Ice-Fang. Pass with Chord up. I'm kind of scared of this Vial. And they don't have good attacks, so it's not like we're in any rush here. And we can maybe just go end of turn Resto, untap Eladamri's Call for Kiki. Notably, you know, this is like our 10th match. We haven't Kiki comboed anybody today. I mean, I think having access to it's really important, but maybe the deck just doesn't need it. Flicker Wisp. I imagine they target the Solitude. They target Cauldron. Okay. What do we do about that? I don't know. With Thalia, we cannot and call on Kiki. 3. No, we can. We'll have 8 mana next turn. Unless I've miscounted. Oh no! I forgot to let the trigger resolve. Okay, no. That was a silly thing. So I guess I'll kill the Thalia. This way, if they tech edge me, I can Kiki combo next turn. Oops. Since I'm playing Toolbox, what's my opinion on Birthing Pod? I mean, we've talked about this earlier today, but I mean, Birthing Pod's really cool and fun, but also, like, Yawgmoth is a really, really good deck in Modern. It top 8s most challenges, and to give Yawgmoth a huge buff when it's already like a really good deck in the format, I think is a mistake to unban it. Why not get Kiki first? I mean, it's a little less obvious that's what we're going for this way. A little less all in. Yeah, you're good. Well, no, I'm fine to reiterate it. That's just my opinion. What do you think? Do you feel like this is the golden era of Modern? I mean, I wouldn't say it's the golden era of Modern, but it's as good as it's ever been. In my opinion. I can also just Yorion next turn. The golden era of Modern was Eldrazi Winter. I've never heard that one before. They also cast the Brutal Cathar, which means they probably have another 3-mana spell. How long have I been playing Magic? Since Return to Ravnica, so a while. Okay, they don't... That's not how that works. I'm not of the opinion Lords is ban worthy. Do you think its ban would impact the format in a positive way? Yeah, probably. I had the yeah, they just, yeah, that's not how that works. It doesn't work like Fiend Hunter. So they just wasted their Flicker Wisp with the Vial, which is like you could never afford to do that as a taxes deck. Yeah, I do think that yeah, I do think that I was actually like definitely of the opinion that Lurrus should be banned before this most recent set release. But, you know, there have been a lot of new cards printed that do de-incentivize Lurrus, specifically like the Mending decks. But I really do think Lurrus is, you know, it does too much for too little mana investment, or too little deck building investment rather, which just is exactly what almost every card in Modern gets banned for, doing too much for too little. And I think that it should be banned at some point. You know, it probably doesn't need to be now, but I would like to see it banned at some point. It just does too much for too little, and that's exactly what you should ban cards for. I think I might just gain 3 life here. We've got a million cards coming in. Does Lurrus become almost unplayable if Bauble get banned? No, it doesn't. Like Hammer Time still gets Hammer Time. All of a sudden becomes like the best deck that gets to play Lurrus. And like Hammer Time is maybe just the best deck if Bauble gets banned because they are easily the best Lurrus deck. That's my prediction at least. Why not get Kiki, Flicker, Solitude, get Resto, and combo? Oh yeah, that worked too. Yeah. I missed that line. Yeah. Why not Resto Yorion? Yorion brings the cards back at end of turn, and I think we take too much damage if we do that. I think there will be bans before GP Vegas. I mean, I don't know when there will be bans, right? I mean, Modern's really good right now. Like, you could very easily leave the format like it is. It's totally fine to leave it like it is. But I mean, I also never know what Wizards is gonna do. I mean, I don't know that anybody does. I mean, I think that there will be legacy bans before GP or MTG Vegas. I don't want to oversideboard too much. Do I want a Knight of Autumn? What, Saga? Saga's not bannable. Saga's fine. What's getting axed in Legacy? I mean, people want a ban. People are really split. I think that they should probably just ban Ragavan for now in Legacy, but I also I don't play a lot of Legacy, so I really am not the person to ask about it. A lot of people, I've read like a lot of like really long-winded articles about what to ban. Some people want to ban Ragavan Iteration. Some people want to ban Days, just Days. Some people want to ban Ragavan Days. Some people don't want to ban anything. But I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea these days, so I don't really have an opinion. Yeah, banning Days in Legacy does feel weird to me. But I have seen like a lot of like really well structured arguments for it. Like I certainly do feel like if you are in the ban Days camp, like you're really well within your, I guess a totally fine take to have. You don't have an answer to the Vial. Ephemerate Solitude should be pretty good in this matchup, though. Is Lavinia Tutero's a Chord Call? I prefer Drannith Magistrate. I've never really been a big Lavinia fan. I always feel like it doesn't do anything super duper well, but it does a few things decently. Where like Magistrate having 3 toughness and also stopping adventure creatures is much better against that's much better against the Rhino's deck, and then like Lavinia stops a couple of cards against Tron, but it doesn't really stop that much. Wits End, thank you for Twitch Prime, appreciate you, buddy. We're gonna play some Jeskai after this. I don't know, I'm really enjoying this deck. I'll probably play at least one more league of this. But I do want to do a slightly longer stream today because I've been ending early and I missed the weekend. So maybe we'll play like a League of Jeskai, Murktide after that league. Is it just ban Delver in Legacy? No, you can't. Don't ban Delver because Delver is not as good as Rasta, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait on the Solitude Ephemerate here, since I want to get whatever card they're gonna violin. I want to get 3 cards with my Solitude Ephemerate. Yeah, it's just like Delver is not as good as DRC or Ragavan in Legacy, in my opinion. I'm not, again, I'm a little out of my element here, but I don't think Delver is better than those cards, and so I don't know why you would ban like the worst of the 3 1-mana threats. All right, that's a good draw. Unban Lurrus. I don't really like the idea of unbanning Lurrus in Legacy, but I might be down for like Zerda or Gyruda unban. Listening and playing Delver. Yeah, that's my impression. Like, I mean, I have been reading a lot of people's opinions on the format. I do care about Legacy. But I just don't want to be like speaking like with a lot of a very like assertive tone about this topic because it really isn't my area of expertise anymore. At one point I would, you know, definitely feel more comfortable talking about it. Just not right now. Is Anthony good? Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that it's not, but I haven't really been paying much attention to that specific aspect. Okay, I'll probably just resto this turn. Might get to just Kiki them. It's pretty good. I'll try to block this Focus with resto though. Oh, they have another equipment? It's pretty good. Could have courted for Collector Oof if I had not attacked with the Ice-Fang. Goodbye, Mailbox. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. Hope your mailbox is okay. Thanks, XF. Congrats on the new job. So I guess if they attack with the Wisp, I'll cast the Resto. Oh, but then they get to sort of Fire Ice the Resto. Maybe we just try to draw, if they target the Ice-Fang. Flicker the Ice-Fang. If not, just try to draw lands. We go to 1 though, so maybe like the fact that we have to draw a basic is a little loosey-goosey. But also if we could just like Chord of Calling and deal with this in combat, it's really not that big a deal either. Recruiter. Put Ice-Fang in front of Flicker, Resto in front of Stoneforge. The problem is then the sort of Fire Ice kills my Resto, which I don't really want to have happen. It's probably fine. Resto the 3/4, yeah, but it has 3 damage on it from the Flicker Wisp. I know how big Restoration Angel is. I guess this line doesn't really work either. We didn't have really anything we had Eladamri's Call for though. Yeah, let's go to game 3, right? I guess we could just put 7 points here. Resto would have 3 damage, no block Stoneforge. Oh, I see. That was probably better, yeah. I was thinking block the other way to keep the Ice-Fang, but yeah, that makes more sense. Was Eladamri's Call for Solitude? Oh yeah, that was the better line. That was the better line. I'm so rusty with this deck. I used to play this deck so much, and the rust is just so clear. This hand's really good though. Would my top cards unban Modern without destabilizing the format? I don't think I have one. I don't think there's any card I'm advocating for an unban of. Although there was one card I thought you could unban. I can't remember what it is. There is actually a card. Hold on. Everybody's gonna start guessing. Hold on. No, the one card is just not that big a deal. I mean, Hypergenesis, I don't think I want unbanned, but I also don't think it would be any good. I don't think that was it. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't usually like to devote too much time to this, but I can't remember. Hold on. Maybe I'm just misremembering. I don't really see anything that I'd want to advocate for. Maybe Bridge. Maybe Bridge was it. I think you could maybe bring Bridge off the ban list. Yeah, Bridge makes sense. I hosted a no ban list modern tournament one time on my stream. I don't think I've actually ever played it. I just commentated that time. Yeah, I feel like Bridge. Yeah, Bridge. I think is the card. If I had to advocate for a card, that would be it. But I don't know. I generally don't love unbans. Should I get Knight of Autumn or Skyclave? I think I'll get the Knight of Autumn. Oh, Skyclave is better to copy here. Yeah, let's get the Skyclave. I don't think I have any like leftover footage of the tournament, unfortunately. I do honestly though, I will say I kind of think that Twin could be unbanned. I really hate saying it. And like the Twin deck would be a lot better than it was, but I kind of think like I actually think Murktide is still the premier blue-red deck. It's like, especially like Twin against Murktide. Murktide like is so favored where they have Unholy Heat and they're just so much more mana efficient than Twin. And it's like there are so many 0 mana cards and 1 mana cards to stop the Twin combo that didn't exist before. Like Fatal Push, Unholy Heat, Solitude, Force of Negation, Force of Vigor. There's so many like specifically like 1 and 0 mana cards that didn't exist before that stopped the combo. Twin or Murktide, why not both? I mean, you can't play Ragavan, Darcy, Murktide, Bauble, Twin, Exarch, Pestermite, and you can play Yorion in those too, but it's like there really isn't room for all of those cards. I don't know. I honestly I don't like saying that. Oh, maybe you could bet on Twin because it's like that's a really divisive thing to say. But I don't know. It's my channel. I guess I can say whatever I want. Oh, maybe I should have got Wall because we're not really blocking with the Ice-Fangs into the Giver. Yeah, I probably should have copied Wall. Keep Twin dead. Yeah, probably. But I will say that like I think that Twin is way safer than people perceive it to be, but I don't think that it adds. It's probably still not good for the format. Yeah, a lot of people really hate the Twin combo, and I really love the Twin combo, but I understand that like playing against like a Master Twin pilot is just like no fun for a lot of players. And they flip the farmhand. So yeah, that's just kind of some loose thoughts. And it's also true, like, man, I do kind of feel like the Twin deck is kind of mana inefficient for the current format. It's not that it would be bad, but I actually could just see it being not that competitive. And I could be totally wrong. Could be totally wrong. Just some loose thoughts, I guess. So I'm going to go Solitude and I think Witness this turn. I could also play Wall. Wall might be a bit better on this board, and then we go for Yorion next turn. Fine draw, I guess. Open a big can of worms. I guess, yeah. I guess. It's a bit of a can of worms, but that's fine, right? What deck won when we hosted No Banless Modern? Miracles, with top and counterbalance. Amulet Titan was also undefeated in the Swiss, though, with Summer Bloom. Oh, I forgot that this can transform. What do you think about a twin that can only enchant legendary creatures? I mean, it would be completely unplayable, right? I don't know. Did I say something, or is it unbanned just pure speculation? Obviously, it's just pure speculation. But I will say that I think twin is safer to unban than the general public perceives it to be. But whoever makes the decision, and it's not going to be me, but whoever makes the decision to unban twin needs to do a lot of playtesting, like hundreds of hours of playtesting. I'm just not gonna waste my time attacking for 2. Keep is better. 8 months. Thank you so much. Yeah, Tarmo Twin. Oh man, what a deck. A hero's deck. Tarmo Twin. Yeah, Wizards playtesting. Yeah, not that likely, right? But that's what needs to happen, right? A twin ban would be like a huge shakeup, and you'd really have to think that it added things to the format. I don't know. Would you guys, if I did a like theoretical twin is unbanned stream, would that be interesting to watch? I don't know that it would be. I think it maybe sounds more interesting to watch than it would be in practice. But I could get like Fran or somebody to, you know, play a bunch of different decks.